as you would imagine, we'll start with the big breaking news, and that is talkSPORT understands that West Ham have parted ways with the manager, Julen Lopetegui, with Graham Potter now the favourite to come in and replace him.
About time.
It is about time, Darren. Yes, thank you for that. So, is he the man to turn things around at the London Stadium? West Ham have parted ways with the manager, Julen Lopetegui, with the side 14th in the Premier League. They've won just 6 of their Premier League games so far this season. Lost, of course, 4-1 away to City at the weekend. Former Chelsea and Brighton boss Graham Potter is the favourite to come in and replace him. Lopetegui actually spoke to talkSPORT after that defeat on Saturday. He said that his side lost because they failed to take their chances.
No, the difference is if you score, maybe this kind of mentality confusion is about the opponent, no? And you reinforce your mentality. Happen. That's why it's very important in football to be consistent in the box. If you overcome one team as we did, I think that we have to be more consistent and stronger in the opposite box.
I watched that game, the West Ham Man City game. They had their chances, you know. Man City at the back looked quite frail, but the scoreline, I suppose, paints a picture. Not necessarily the correct one, but all 3 points didn't go to West Ham. They came away with no points whatsoever. Another defeat for them, and that is, 9 so far this season out of the 20 games, only 6 wins. 14th in the Premier League. It was one of those stories I thought that it was inevitable. It was just a question of when he was going to be sacked, not if. And it looks like West Ham have pulled the trigger now. All West Ham fans will be over the moon with that.
Do you know what? And the timing is you'd have to say is quite strange, but no, I get it. West Ham fans weren't happy when he got the job. So I think when you get to a new club, if the fans are not excited by your appointment and they're quite vocal about they don't want you there in the first place, it's very hard to kind of change the mindset. But at a period where obviously they got beat 5-2 by Arsenal, no shame in that, and then they got beat by Leicester 3-1, and that's where I went, he might be in some serious trouble here, right? But they're coming off the back of getting smashed 5-0 by Liverpool and then 4-1 by City. So effectively, they've been beat by arguably 2 best teams 2 out of the best.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? 2 of the best teams in Europe, you'd have to say. I know Man City have kind of a bit of a wobble, but still, they're one of the best teams in Europe. Those 2 results are the ones that have got him the sack. That's why I'm a bit like, well...
I don't think those results have... I think 20 games of the season.
No, but I get that. But they're coming off the back of West Ham, of Liverpool and Man City.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
So if you're going to sack him, do it before you lose to big heads, because everyone effectively loses to big heads.
Exactly. So, but no, I mean, I never understood the appointment in the first place. I mean, he's only won 7 games in all comps since he got there, lost 10.
Is that what it is? Only 7?
He's only won 7 games since he got there.
What was the other one in? League Cup?
So he's it must be League Cup. Yeah. So... I just think the 2 in the League Cup, won it 3rd round against Liverpool, again no shame in that, and then they beat Bournemouth in the League Cup as well. I just think when West Ham made the appointment or the decision to sack David Moyes, who'd been really successful, but West Ham fans had been sick of that particular brand of football. It shocked me that they then went down that route of Lopetegui, because he's quite a pragmatic manager as well. We know that he doesn't really play that expansive free-flowing football. Like he's not one of these new, and this is no disrespect to him, he's not one of those new forward-thinking coaches. Like, again, we know he's been linked to it, and rightly so. I thought they should have gone from first. Graham Potter, these new form of coaches now. Do you know what I mean? Where they're not managers, they're like head coaches.
Yeah.
It surprised me they didn't go for it then, but I just think for West Ham, surely they would have read the room and gone, all right, David Moyes and Lopetegui, quite similar. Are the fan base going to be happy? Probably not. Let's think outside the box and go a completely different direction. Now, there might have been teething problems with Graham Potter at first, but I think the football they'd have been watching, the brand of football they'd have watched, would have been better. But the fact that now it looks like they're going to go back to Graham Potter, I think that's the right decision. It astounds me. I'm a big Graham Potter fan. I might be in the minority with that, but I always have been. From his Brighton days, it shocked me that he's still out of work now. I know money's got to do with it. But I think there was a number of clubs that he could have gone to. Also,
I think with Lopetegui, I agree with him. He said with Lopetegui, it felt like it was a short-term appointment.
Yeah.
With someone like Graham Potter, you think, okay, he's going to be there to build.
Exactly.
Would you be surprised if Graham Potter took this job? And no disrespect to West Ham, but every time a club sacks their manager, he gets linked to the job.
Yeah.
Right? Is West Ham... This sounds awful that I'm saying it. I don't mean it disrespectfully. Is West Ham the biggest job he can aim for, do you think? Is there not a bigger job?
Well, I've said this before. When I look at Graham Potter, I remember him getting linked with the Ajax job, and the way that his teams play football, that to me just screamed of somebody that was perfect for that role. Ajax, big club, should probably win that league.
I don't know if you want to leave the Premier League.
You say that, but the football that they play, things like that, it just felt like that was the match made in heaven, but it didn't happen. I think he could be better than West Ham. I mean, currently West Ham in the league table, like he could do better than a side that's 14th.
Let me ask you then.
They are a big club.
Let me ask you. Spurs, we're going to talk about Spurs a bit later on. Under a lot of pressure. They've got big games coming. They've got Liverpool in the League Cup this week. At the weekend, they've got Tamworth. Is it Tamworth? And then at the week after that, in midweek, they've got Arsenal.
Got the Arsenal,
right? This could be a monumental week for him.
Yeah.
If you were Graham Potter, would you not hold off a week just to see what happens? Because I see that as another perfect fit.
Do you know what? I don't think you can. Unless he has concrete discussions that say, listen, if this happens, you're next in line to get this job, then he might have something to think about. But you can't run that risk of, because imagine now he's thinking, right, I might wait for the Spurs. They win their next 7 games in a row.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
I know, but I'm just saying, if they win their next 7...
I don't know what you're going to say, because that won't be happening.
You say that, but...
No, I do say that.
They win the next 7, and then all of a sudden...
They won't win the next 7, Benny.
Okay, 5.
Yeah, but that means beating your lot and Liverpool.
But just say that happens.
Okay.
And then West Ham's gone. He's like, well, what do I do now? I think he's been out of football a long time, and you know what it's like. Some managers get that... they get like a window, and then they start to get forgotten about a little bit, and then you end up taking a job that you didn't really want, but because there's nothing else, you know what, I'll just do it.
Okay, do you think Potter will be a perfect fit for West Ham?
Yes, I do.
Okay, West Ham fans. talkSPORT understands that Lopetegui will be going, or he might even be gone, but either way, by the end of the day, you'll be looking for a new manager. Who do you want it to be? Is Potter the right man?
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.